In this amazing looking settlement, we are going to be producing or breeding lizards through eggs. Every 25 eggs that we produce will gain us a lizard. I hope you'll enjoy this video. It's the hardest difficulty that I played so far at this point, Prestige 8. Subscribe for more videos and I shall see you in the next one. It's a brand new cycle. What better way to start it than start next to two positive world events and the hardest difficulty that I've played on so far, Prestige 8. We are bringing a caravan with a bunch of frogs and a few humans. So we are taking some human farms, but also some lizard trapper camps, because we do want that nice meat and eggs. On the most basic bitch biome, the Royal Woodlands, you do have the meat and egg options, so it's like ranch in the wild. Prestige 8, villagers consume more luxury goods. Previous difficulty, villagers consume more food. And then the one previous, that everything, all the buildings just cost more resources. It's insane. One beaver house costs 12 planks instead of 8, but where it hurts more or most is the parts and fire essence and stuff like that. Now the positive glaive event is really reminiscent of the Aurora, Forest Mystery, because it's a stacking resolve boost. Okay. All the other negative forest mysteries are whatever. However, we do have Hailstorm, which will basically kill our villagers if they don't have a house. Let me take off my glasses actually so I look a little bit cooler to you guys. All the other negative forest mysteries I don't really respect. One of the world modifiers is that we start with salvageable buildings in our glades, and look at that, we get an apothecary, literally the best building we could have gotten, because it makes food for humans, food for lizards, and also a flawless cooperage, making 3-star barrels for that nice pickled goods and 3-star coats for the humans. The best species we could get as a third option right now would be actually harpies, even though nobody likes harpies. They're kind of like a mix between humans and lizards, because we have the jerky building, we have the coat building, so harpies would be the best one to get. I wonder if we'll get harpies though. All of these building options are decent, however I do want to get one with fabric production at the very beginning of the game. Now there's one thing you guys need to understand. When the clay pit calls, you answer, okay? Clay pit is the most broken building, pre 1.4, okay? Since the new patch, the developers didn't even nerf the building, they buffed it 6 times. Okay, major and small ways they buffed it, but I don't want to get into it. The clay pit is the best building in the entire game, and I might make a video on it. Though, subscribe for more content, because one of the following videos is going to be about the clay pit. The clay pit saved our ass in an even higher prestige game. Now, ever since we made 1500 herbs and produced a bunch of provisions from them, I really like the leftover crops Cornerstone. However, I don't want to play a similar game right now. I'm also not sure if we're gonna find herbs, so I re-roll these Cornerstones. And look at that, we have Surprise Child, actually the funniest Cornerstone in the entire game. For every 25 eggs produced, you get a lizard. And it's surprisingly not that bad. You do need a good egg production way. Okay, you can do something like, on this map there's eggs, right? Even large resources as eggs. You can find the lizard service building that doubles camp production. However, of course we don't find any eggs in this stupid dangerous glade. But we do find another tea house. Funnily enough, the building, the whatever it's called, the exploration building, the service building, is seemingly good now, because we could get +3 to resolve, because we already have 3 buildings that we can salvage or repair. Even though that building is not really great in my opinion. We just got accidentally lucky with it. Anyways, if we do pick the Surprise Child, which we did actually, I already picked it, we want a way to get, we want ranch basically, because that is the only building that can produce eggs kind of like a farm, so continuously. Luckily, we do find some fertile soil, actually a lot of it. So the farm that we brought with us will be useful. We can get grain to make porridge for the humans, or later on turn it into flour, which turns into pie for both of these species. Because we started with lizards, we get a bunch of tools for free at the beginning of the game, and we are able to start the positive version of the event, even though doing the negative one is better, because you do get the 5 tablets, which is insane to sell. But that's okay, we'll get a reputation point, maybe we'll get a wrench that much faster as a blueprint. Now, one thing about Clay Pit is that it's so broken, it kind of ruins the fun of the game. So I'm not gonna go with the Clay Pit right now, even though as I'm like hovering over it, I'm showing you that it's broken. We are going to go with the furnace, because it can create the skewers for the lizards early on. That's really good, because the field kitchen produces them at a really bad conversion rate, and even better, pies for, again, both humans and lizards. That's the two common point between the species, because lizards are not religious anymore. I never thought I'd say this sentence though. Unfortunately, the third species isn't harpies, even though I really hate them. It's gonna be foxes. Foxes can do glade events faster. At this point in Prestige 8, glade events are not yet annoying. Prestige 9, Prestige 10, all the glade events take longer to do, and I think they require more resources as well, but I'm not sure. So it's super difficult to do them. And speaking of the surprise child lizard Cornerstone, we get an order to deliver eggs. We already know we are going to be producing eggs, so we take that one, and it actually gives us +2 pies. So we get 12 pies instead of 10 for every production. We get a decent farming order as well that creates +1 to cloth. And look at that trapper camp. The timed order is really good if we can do that. +5 to mushroom. 5 mushrooms every minute. Not as broken as when you produce 70 mushrooms every time. +1 to meat is also really good, because again, we are looking for that wrench. I wonder which one I'll pick. Let's do the timed order. It's pretty easy to do. We just need to boost foxes a little bit. We also got our first trader, and we'll be buying plantation from Sahilda, just so we can get some extra berries and cloth material, though we did find many large, whatever they are, the thing that you gather for the fabric. So it's not super important, it's mainly for the berries. And also, weird thing, but we found a large scale pond. So I'm getting +1 to scales, because we can use, oh actually it's a small one, we can use it to create boots for the lizards and the foxes, or using the building that we just picked up, the furnace, we can actually turn scales into copper. It's an alternative way to create copper bars, which is really nice. So there is of course crystallized dew as well. All these orders with the plus perks are super good to see. This is exactly what I want. Getting +1 to another fabric is decent, because we already have another order, so we could create double the amount of fabric already. +1 to PBF, so planks, bricks, and fabric is super good, because you only create just 2. So even just getting +1 is like a 50% increase. And previously spoke about copper bars. We can create crystallized resin using the Forester's Hut. The Forester's Hut is one of the best buildings on this Royal Woodlands map, because there is no copper. So you pretty much have to just create crystallized dew the entire game. However, the tincture can create dye for the coats and the paste, though never mind, nothing eats paste, so we're just gonna pick up the Forester's Hut, even though it's kind of a bad pick because we just picked up plantation from Sahilda, like I said, so now we have 3 farm buildings. That's not super great, right? These options are not great because we already have options for most of this stuff, including porridge, biscuits, you know, coats as well. So we are going to be picking up the provisioner simply because it can create flour. It's kind of sucky, but it's okay. We need the flour for the pies for the lizards and the humans. And of course, like I'm pointing it out right there, we get the rain mill after we picked up a 2-star flower production building, so yeah. Or we can pick up the greenhouse, you know, a 4th farm building. Not even mad, I guess. We survived the 2nd year storm, even though lizards are trying to leave constantly, and I really want them to stay to operate the bakeries and the trapper camps and the ranch in the future. And would you look at that, the trader in this year is Zorg. And what does he have? He has the ranch, of course. He also has the clay pit, because you cannot escape the clay pit. And insect traps is insane. Check out the last video with the Harpy Utopia if you haven't already, because we had clay pit, the mushroom production cornerstone, and the insect traps. We produced probably like thousands of mushrooms, and half of that was insects. You just get, for every 2 mushrooms, you get 1 insect. It's insane. There's no other way to produce insects at that level. Now, this is going to be really funny. I'm going to pick up Book of Water, which will give us a 5% double yield chance for every 60 fish stuff that we, you know, catch, but only on recipes that require water. Now, I've argued with people in the community before that this sucks. The only recipes it helps are, you know, crystallized dew, tea, and there's another one that I don't remember that uses water, but it does have, apparently does have the clay pit and the greenhouse, right? So I don't remember if I buy the clay pit here, but I think I do. I just got insect traps instead. Never mind. I don't buy the clay pit because we have the greenhouse. So I'm kind of wondering, we got +1 to the scales, right? So we get like a plus like 15 or 20% chance for double yield mushrooms. And for every 2 mushrooms, we get 1 insect. We actually got pretty awesome perks from the trader. Luckily, the trader is still cheap. We are not playing on a higher prestige level where you basically cannot buy anything, because perks are double the price and you sell stuff for half the price. So literally perks are like 4 times as expensive as before, technically. We are in extremely good position. We also picked up ranch, if you remember, and we get 1 lizard for every 25 eggs. Extreme. We just need, because stuff is leaving in the storm, we just need to nail down these houses, get more resolve so nothing leaves, and just do this sort of soft lizard utopia, I guess. For the Book of Water, the 5% double yield chance for every 60 stuff that you fish up, we can also produce packs of crops, because packs of crops can be used as bait, which will also double produce the thing. And I don't really know how it works, because we got +1 to scales, right? So I don't know if we get 3 scales or 4 scales, right? Because it might double the 2, or it might just get +1, if you know what I mean. But either way, we are pretty good. I'm gonna create another villager hub in this bottom left corner. We had a game recently that was really reminiscent of this one, the one on the secondary channel with the platinum seal, where we got into this exact like location of Dangerous Glade, and we created a hub like right here. So it's like in front of me, like visually right now. It's kind of funny. Of course, from this prestige level, like prestige 1, 2, 3, 4, the storms are longer and villagers are leaving faster. So I'm kind of worried that the lizards are going to be leaving. I cannot really boost, because that would make the foxes leave instead. We can't really boost the hearth either. And we cut into a forbidden glade. Or maybe it's a dangerous one, I don't remember. But look at that, we get 2-star sea marrow. I just passed up the chance to get the cornerstone where you get money for sea marrow mines. So I'm kind of pissed about that one. We got Book of Water instead, the shittiest cornerstone in the entire game. But we do get, remember we brought the large trapper camp and we find large eggs. So good. So we don't even need to make use of the wrench to get our lizards. And there's also meat on the top left. We also find a smelter No copper on this map, unfortunately, so not that useful, but also some fertile soil and that weird-looking tree, dangerous glade or forbidden glade, I don't remember. Now, we can just cut the tree down and get +2 to roots. That's pretty much the only farm that we don't have, you know, the herb and root garden. But that's fine. We get a bunch of tablets and a bunch of fire essence that we can sell or make use of, so that's alright. Now, what's the most insane cornerstone that we can get at this point? Because we do get it. Back to nature. Double farm production, okay? We lose all of our food, but look at the top left or the top center. We only have 51 food. So we pick that one. We are running out of food, but we did just find those camps, and we have the large trapper camp. We do need to make use of it or build it up as soon as possible. We still haven't picked the orders that will give us +2 whatever. Guess we can create +2 shoes, but or boots, but you know, we already create 10. It doesn't really matter. The trader doesn't have that much or any really useful perks, unfortunately. And look at that, another really useful plus order. We get +2 to jerky production. However, with the foxes, we found the drizzle gazier in small glade. So I'm just gonna instantly turn in the drizzle gazier one. We have a bunch of drizzle water. It's the most overpowered type of water in the game. After all, there is 0% chance that we can sell 70 amber worth of goods. So say no to that timed order. 20 harmony rewards are fairly easy to do. We just need a bunch of production on the building materials. But it's not a timed order. I had a timed order before. Maybe it's this settlement, actually. Yeah, it is. It is. We need to... Oh, God. This gave me so much PTSD. 10 harmony decorations and 10 blue decorations. And I'm just basically going to be destroying buildings to get that done. We get a bunch of beer and a brewery. It's not even that useful, I guess, but still, timed orders ruin my life, I'm telling you, man. So yeah, I just really effed myself because remember, we have 0 food because of the back to nature cornerstone, and I'm also trying to do a timed order with basically all of our settlements' power. Oh, and by the way, in the meantime, we need a blight post because we have 95% corruption. So the next storm, the hearth is gonna get corrupted 100%, and then villagers are going to leave. So I'm just juggling 3 responsibilities at the same time. Oh, and by the way, it would be nice to get some sea marrow efficient fuel so we don't actually run out of wood, you know, for the harmony event and the blight post, and just to burn at the hearth. So yeah, I guess 4 responsibilities now. We have 1 minute and 41 seconds, if you see on the center right, to do this stupid harmony event, and we still have quite a few decorations to be built. We don't even have enough of everything. These guys are producing planks, however, nobody's carrying them back to the warehouse because we have basically playing at the highest level. All the buildings have plus to their storage capacity, which is sometimes actually really sucky. And I didn't think we would make it, but I assigned a bunch of workers, and luckily we got the timed order. As you could hear through the recording mic, I just... let's just say I was really happy that I could do this timed order. Took a lot of stress from us. And by the way, 0 idea how, but in the meantime, if you see the top center, we got 210 food. So we survived the starvation event. Both of these options, the supplier stamping mill, are good because we don't have better ways to create bricks and planks, but we're just gonna pick the plank one. I guess it's more important. We can already create 3-star coats, and we don't really need coats either that much because only humans wear them. So supplier is just for the planks. Kind of sucky, but it is what it is. Next storm, everybody's leaving. I cannot stop it. It's really funny because a lizard just left, even though we just got a lizard from the surprise child cornerstone. So I guess the baby just left. We have a bunch of corruption. However, our blight fighters are... Actually, we don't. I turned off all the water, so we are staying at 95%. That was actually really clever by me. I didn't remember I did that. Just so we didn't have to deal with the blight, I turned off the drizzle water usage. when we were, doing the timed order and we had no food. So one less thing to worry about. Trying to boost a little bit, but I already know it's a bunch of people are gonna leave. Doesn't really save us. Another lizard builder left. Foxes are going to be leaving as well. There's nothing I can do. Fox woodcutter left. Lizard left. Fox left. Lizard left. So already like 10 people are going to be leaving through this storm. So we started with 32 population and we ended the storm with 26. So 6 lizards and foxes left in total. That's not great. And we got a bunch of impatience as well through that, of course. But it's okay. Maybe through the surprise child we can make up our numbers and then win. We had 13 lizards and now we only have 7. So maybe we had more than 32 residents. I just miscounted. It's really bad. Lizard numbers are basically down to when we started. Our resolve generation, now that a lot of people left, is actually really good though. We got a bunch of newcomers as well. So we are doing just fine. Boosting humans, we're getting resolve from the lizards as well. And we can finally throw down our wrench and start producing eggs. Look, we got like more than 60 insects just from the get 1 insect for every 2 mushrooms cornerstone. We have a bunch of grain saved up from the harvests as well, so can really make this wrench work. We can even water boost it. We have a really good resolve water production. I'm pretty sure it's level 2 on the geyser as well. Smelter will be able to create training gear for the lizards once we need it, though the only service building we have right now is I look at the scale production with the bait and the +1 to scales through the fishing hut. That's really, really good. It will help us again with the double yields for the porridge. Cobbler, so good, so necessary, I would rather say, because 3 stars for the stupid boot production. But luckily we do have the wrench to create infinite amounts of leather for the boots. It's just really annoying that every single game you pretty much need wrench and you pretty much need cobbler. I don't really like that. And the community doesn't really agree with me, but I find the boots really annoying to make. And you constantly run out. For some reason, it's much faster to do coats, even though coats require now, resin or dye. But once you do get a dye building, you get a bunch of dyes for very cheap. Our issue now is more about the fuel, though the sea marrow deposits that we found saved our ass majorly. I'm preparing for much more or many more lizards, so I'm throwing down some lizard houses and I'm trying to upgrade them as well. Through the cobbler, we are able to make 2-star building material packs, which is used to upgrade the houses. Unfortunately, we don't have enough food though. It's so annoying to get the level 2s for pretty much every race except maybe frogs. Now, it's not even good at this point because all it does is get us bricks, but I'm gonna pick up the plus 50% produced at the crude workstation, because the one weakness that we have in this settlement right now, remember when I picked up plank production instead of brick production? Well, we don't have good ways to create bricks. We still only have the crude workstation, and the unfortunate thing is we didn't really find any good clay deposits, right? We found sea marrow and a few clays, but it's just not enough. We need a bunch more bricks for all those houses and all that stuff. Now this is really funny. We could pick up the Blightrot pruner to get more eggs from Blightrot, and I'm pretty sure it increases our lizards as well through the other cornerstone. But we're just gonna pick up Safe Haven for every level 2 hearth. We're gonna get -40 to the hostility, and we already have 2 hearths at level 2, so that's -80. That's just pretty good, It's like a soft temple or whatever it's called, the monastery. In the meantime, we cut into another dangerous glade, and we find one of the best buildings, or one of the best service buildings we could have found at this point. The Tea Doctor. It's a fox-specific service building. You cannot get it unless you have foxes. For every 200 complex food that you supply your villagers with, you get +1 to resolve, and already we are going to get +3 to global resolve. So it's paramount that we fix this building. We also found some escaped convicts, and though we could have produced some training gear and arrest them and, you know, get the game done, I guess, quicker, for whatever reason, I chose the evil option to get some, you know, extra resources and 5 villagers, so I guess it's decent, though we already have, look at that, 52 villagers, that's insane. Now, again, we had some problems with 2 things, fuel and bricks, so I'm gonna pick up the kiln, even though it's only 1 star for the bricks. Jerky we don't care about, we already have a good building for that. Of course we get the tea doctor as another option, even though we just found one. Okay, the game is just trolling us at this point. Yeah, I just rage quit this menu. It feels really good when you have more than 1 order ready to be completed. Bam, bam. Unfortunately, corruption is getting super high, above 100%, because at this prestige level, after like year 3 or 4, you just get a bunch of blight rot for no reason. It's just part of the prestige. So it's from 86% we went to 158%, right? So we have to assign some people at the blight post immediately. Actually, we did already, but we need to up the fuel production much more. We only have 3, but we require like 11 to completely eradicate the blight rot. Now, at this point, we are really, really, really close to winning. So I'm just going to call for a trader early. We can construct a bunch of harmony decorations and get just 1 full reputation point just from that. It doesn't even really matter. Of course, we get Dullahan Warlander. This just gets us like random stuff for our money. It doesn't even matter. Would have been better to get a different trader. He's the worst trader at this point because we just want to buy maybe like complex food and stuff like that. We have like 250 mushrooms as well from the greenhouse. Got a bunch of insects from that. I wonder if I check the final number at the end. At this point, we are just buying random stuff. It's so funny that we have this surprise child Cornerstone and we literally have more humans and more foxes than lizards. Both of these races represent themselves better than lizards. And by the way, the foxes are really pulling us through, even though right now they're not generating reputation because of the storm. But this year, so far, has been mostly foxes. And it's pretty insane. I haven't actually noticed that we win by like year 5. And I'm playing on the hardest prestige difficulty, prestige 8, that I've played on so far. Or at that point when I recorded this like 3 weeks ago. So that's pretty good job, Two-Siders. I'm telling you, the trade nerf after one of the prestige difficulties is ridiculously bad for the Two-Siders type of gamers that just sell stuff and buy a bunch of perks. It really hurt me. Now, people are dying because I forgot about the population and the... remember the hailstorm. This is why we check the negative forest mysteries, guys. So 2 villagers have already died. But still, if you look at the top left, 5 of them are out of a home. So I'm just like, they're assigning the warehouse workers. Another one died. Dude, these giant icicle balls, ice balls are raining down on these stupid villagers and they're killing them. Feels bad, man. That's a bad way to go, I'm telling you. But at this point, we don't really care. Look at that, we get meat specialization at this point. Doesn't even matter. No, we're just gonna get the woodcutter camp because we have 0 wood. Does it matter? No. Not really. Humans and foxes are generating resolve. Of course, it's the lizards that don't generate resolve. Okay, now it's everybody. And we win. Expedition 8. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out this video next, it's another Against the Storm video. Subscribe for more and I shall see you in the next one.